Jennifer, we're going to be bringing you in. Steve Kretz as well for application number 1.
Hi.
Hey. Need a name and address for the record, please.
Jennifer Wicks, 200 Bellevue Avenue, Center Moriches, New York, 11934.
Okay. And what'd you say, Brian? Steve Kretz is on this?
Yeah, Steve's on there. I see him now.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I just muted you, Steve, by accident.
Gotta love technology.
It's all of us. We're all dealing with it.
Steve, I need your name and address for the record, please.
I'm not lit up. There we are. Okay. Stephen Kretz, W. Kretz and Garbrand, 692 South Wellwood Avenue, Lindenhurst.
All right.
In behalf of this, I do not represent the owner, but I am here to speak in behalf of the application.
Okay. All right. And for the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 26, 2021. Survey by Meets and Bounds Surveying dated September 24th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. And
That's it, Mr. Chairman, tonight.
okay. What would you like to tell us about the application, Jennifer?
Sorry, I received a letter today saying that they suggested they put scissor steps.
Yes, that's in the planning memo. Yes.
Yes. They said, I spoke with them today and he suggested that he just remove the steps and put a railing up. Which would,
I don't know. What do you mean remove the steps and put a railing on? I don't understand.
just not have exterior steps to the balcony, the deck.
Oh, okay. That's all this is?
For the front deck?
For the front?
This is for the side deck.
No,
this
it's
is
the
for
front deck, Jennifer. Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Jennifer, this is for the front
Is
deck.
19. Okay, okay. So he says he would remove them because the lift is there. I'm sorry, the both steps are 19. That's why I said it.
Okay. All right, so then, Mr. Chairman, you would have to amend the application to remove the stair encroachment, but leave the variance for the 30 to 19.5.
That's for the porch?
That's the porch.
Yeah. If I may interrupt here, I represent the proposed purchaser of the property. We're in a transaction to purchase it, and this has come up kind of at the 11th hour within the past 24 hours. And I'm not sure that any solution that's being proposed at the moment is palatable to both sides, or my client's side at least, until we have a much better idea of what that is going to look like. I think what we need, as the memo suggests, is a new diagram of what is going to work. I've spent the day talking to the attorney for the seller and my client and other parties in the town. And, you know, I don't even know what a scissor step is, I have to confess with you, and I've been doing this a long time. So
They're looking for a landing, I think, is what they're
yeah,
looking
no,
for.
I
They
understand.
want it to turn.
It's the only way that you can get the front edge of the steps on the front of the house far enough away from the street to make it interesting. But I have to see how that looks.
Gotcha. I mean, this has come up before, and, you know, we've had that same issue as far as, you know, they're coming out too far, it's close, it becomes a liability that it comes out that close to the street.
No argument. We understand, and we're all for doing something right, but I just don't want to rush into something that has come up literally at the last minute.
Okay, well, we would be, you know, closing and reserving decision on this anyway, because, you know, we hold it at least a week and we're off next week. So there's a span in there in any event.
Okay.
To, you know, make some adjustments to this.
Yeah, today we were trying to reach the well, at least the surveyor who drew the survey, to give us an idea of where, you know, what he's suggesting in terms of what he can suggest to get it further away from the street, as I understand the board is interested in. But I think we need to go a little further than that with the design.
Okay.
So I think we need at least 2 weeks to do that.
Okay, Steve, you have any I'm sorry, Mr. Delvecchio, you have any questions?
There are two other houses on the block that have stair encroachments just like that. But most of the other ones, they come out to the east and west instead of coming out straight.
I think that's a good idea, and maybe that will work here too. It's
Yeah.
just, it all came up today, and it's just too soon to jump on something. I would suggest that possibly a better approach would be to not close and reserve, but adjourn to whenever the next date will be. And maybe by that time we can submit a drawing that everyone can see and you can see, and, you know, maybe it'll work out nicely.
Okay. That would work. Jennifer?
Unmute.
Hi, wait,
Uh,
hold on. I'm sorry. I was just calling, John Flynn. He has said that he spoke with Scott and Scott was okay with doing that with the steps. So I'm not sure if this developed very recently with Mr. Kretz or there's some kind of miscommunication.
Well, evidently it must have developed, you know, not that long ago. And so we're at the last hour with this. So, you know, we need somewhat of a drawing, you know, at least to be able to show that. And that's what Mr. Kretz is asking for. So probably the best thing here is to just adjourn the application to, what's our
March
next?
18th.
March 18th. That's our next meeting.
So we're gonna put it off to March 18th because Mr. Kretz, you spoke with your client and he said he didn't agree with that?
No,
I agree with that.
he agrees with that. He wants to take measured steps to make sure we make the right decision here. And so far, you know, we've only had about 4 hours, 5 hours maybe, to absorb all of this and to try to come up with what the
Yeah.
best solution is.
Okay, is Mr. Flynn able to speak? I have him on speakerphone.
Well, we can't have a
Yeah,
negotiation.
this is,
Actually,
we're gonna-
there needs to have a presentation
Ask him what he wants.
of what is being requested.
You know, I'm okay with removing the stairs if that's how they'll let this pass.
all right, so we're going to adjourn the hearing. We're going to March the 18th. We need a drawing to show exactly what's going to be done there so that whatever the variance may or may not be, we'll be able to, you know, put it into what proper terms for that time.
Okay, so should I just mail in the drawing, just with the reference?
You guys get together on that and send it into the zoning department, okay?
Okay,
281 Phelps Lane in North Babylon.
okay, all right, perfect, thank you.
All right, guys?
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know.
All right, I'm going to bring in Stacy and Andrew for application number 2. Or, yeah, Stacy and Andrew for number 2.
Good evening.
And good evening, how you doing? Name and address for the record, please.
Andrew Brom, 1924 Belmore Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710.
Okay.
Okay, good evening. My name is Andrew Brom.
Hold on one second. Stacy, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I need your name and address for the record also.
Sure. It's Stacy Messina, 25 Wilson Avenue, Amityville, New York, 11701.
Okay, and do you both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so before you guys go, let me read into the record. Planning Division memo dated February 26, 2021. A survey by William Hogan dated September 30th, 2020. uh, tax map acting as an area map, and that's it.
Mr. Chairman, there was also a letter of support from an adjacent neighbor, but it came in after the agenda was closed. So I don't
Okay.
know if the board just wants to be aware of that or not.
Okay. So that's from a neighbor that's in favor? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, what would you guys like to tell us about the application?
Good evening. My name is Andrew Brom. I'm an engineer, and I'm representing Mr. and Mrs. Messina, who are also present in Zoom if you have any questions for them. What we're proposing is a swimming pool, which is a 12-foot by 20-foot semi-in-ground pool located on the side of the house. The swimming pool meets the rear and the side lot requirements, and it's also set behind the house. Does the board have our drawing AQ-1? If you look at the drawing there, where the 12-foot, I'm sorry, does the board have that in front of them?
No, the board does not have that.
Now, which
You can
side?
screen share if you'd like, Andrew.
On the Wilson Avenue side?
Yeah, I could do a screen share if
Yeah, please do.
beneficial. Give me one moment here. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, now we can.
So the 12, you can see the top is Charleston, the side is Wilson. It's a 60 by 100 lot that's on a corner, and the house is actually turned sideways. So as you can see, we put the 12 by 20 pool set back to the, what I'm going to call the rear of Charleston. It also meets the side yard setback, and it's still behind the house. The reason we're here tonight for the variance is in this zone, 40 feet is required from Charleston Avenue, where we are proposing 30.5 feet. So we did submit one letter of support, which you heard earlier from the next door neighbor on Charleston Avenue. And I want to just repeat that the pool itself is located behind the house, which, let me just grab a pen. So here's the side of the house that I just drew in blue. And the 40 feet is required in this direction. And we're proposing 30. As you can see, this pool has no negative impact on the surrounding area. It won't bring down the value of any home. It's not self-created because if you look at this lot, there's nowhere else that this pool could possibly be installed. So the benefit of approving this greatly outweighs any detriment to the applicant. And if the board has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Dellavecchia.
Where you're proposing the pool, isn't there a deck there currently?
Yeah, the deck is to be removed, and yes, thank you. The deck to be removed, and it's going to be a semi-in-ground pool in this location.
You're not going to be rebuilding another deck around it or anything?
If I can ask the Messinas to answer that question.
Okay.
They're
Hi,
on
yes, there will be no deck. It's going to be a patio.
Okay.
at grade level.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
The patio that you're referring to would be at grade level, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman. I have a John in that was registered to speak, so I'll allow him to talk.
Okay.
John, you there? John Just
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had to unmute. I'm on a phone on my laptop.
no
No,
worries.
I only got the letter this week and I signed on, but I never saw drawings or anything. So I didn't understand that it was on the other side of the house. So if that's the case, I don't have, I don't think there's nothing for me to comment on.
Okay. I just need your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. It's John Succoso, Succoso, address 20. I'm an owner at 27 Wilson,
Okay,
the house directly next door.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you, John.
All right. No, and nobody else, Brian?
Nope, that's it.
All right, so we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to hold the record open for, it's going to be 2 weeks now because we don't have a meeting next week, just in case there are any other further comments coming in, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I am bringing in Charles Brundy and Gina Montalbano for application number 3. Charles, you there? Wait, I see Gina looking for Charles too. He's signed in to register here.
Okay.
Charles Brody.
There we go.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. All right, we got everybody.
Okay. Need name and address of everybody.
Angela Montalbano, 103 Wilson Avenue, Amity Harbor, New York.
Okay. And who else is going to speak on the application?
Charles J. Brody, architect, representing the property owner.
Okay. So do you both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
We need your address, Mr. Brody.
Oh,
Grundy?
30, I'm sorry, 30 Bethesda Lane, Sayville, New York, 11782. Do you need the spelling of the lane?
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
For the record, I have a planning division memo dated February 26, 2021. A survey by Michael Scalise dated October 15th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map, and nothing, we don't have anything else. Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, good evening, members of the board. Again, Charles J. Brody, architect, representing the property owner. As stated in the call, the homeowners wish to add a second floor addition to the rear of the house with a non-conforming 4-foot side yard. And I'd like to amend the call on the 12.4-foot setback to 14. And the reason on that is that the original variance on this house, which was approved back in 1985, has a 14-foot setback. The 12.4 was advertently taken to the overhang and not to the wall.
Doesn't show that on the survey, really.
Yeah,
Charles, it's Kate from Building Department. So from the 12.1 to the rear property line, it's 14 feet and there's no cantilever on the second floor in this application?
no, there is a second floor cantilever to match the rest of the house.
Okay, so then we
That's
take it from the cantilever, so we really can't change the.
Okay, so it's, okay, I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
that
That's
the
fine.
addition was,
I just wanted to ask that so you knew, Mr. Chairman.
Yep, very good.
Very well.
Okay.
So again, with the addition of the second floor addition, we have a non-conforming side yard setback and trying to match the existing setback of the rear addition. If the encroachment into that is a problem, we can cut that back. That is not a problem. I just want the board to know that the upper floor will be in line with the lower floor. It will not be any closer to the property line than the existing house is at the present time.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Delavecchia.
So this renovation is gonna be directly over the existing floor plan?
That is correct. It's just a small 12 by roughly 11, 12 addition on the map.
And that's just to add one more bedroom?
It's an expansion of an existing bedroom, not to add.
So it's gonna be 3 bedrooms on the upstairs or 2?
There are 3 at the moment. It'll be an
Stay 3,
expansion.
it's not gonna go to 4?
No, it won't be going to 4.
Okay.
It'll be expansion of that back bedroom.
Now, is there an accessory apartment permit for the second floor?
Okay, so going through this, it was approved in 2015. And inadvertently, the homeowners were not aware that it needed to be renewed. They did have inspections. They do have all the permits, which I have copies of, and the inspections, which the last inspection was done in 2015. They did not know that they were responsible of renewing it, unfortunately, and they never received a notice from the town to have it renewed. So it's been as is since the original approval on the accessory apartment.
Are they gonna renew it?
Yes, they would like to renew it.
Okay.
I never knew we had to do that.
Okay.
Honestly, I really never did. My father took care of everything, and after he passed, it was all handed to me. My mother has no idea. Oh, I'm sorry, they can hear me? Oh. I've never done one of these either, so I have all my inspection papers.
Okay.
We've always had a very good inspection.
So it looks,
But you're gonna renew it now that you know.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
We've had a 2-family home for over 40 years.
it looks like when
It's
they,
a mother-daughter.
it looks like when they did the last inspection, they put in for the paperwork for the apartment. They haven't had an inspection since.
Okay.
Well, is it every 5 years or 3 years that you get an inspection?
Every 3 years.
3, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's
That's right.
renewable every 3 years.
Okay,
Was
now
that
do I
2018?
contact you or do you tell me? I always thought you
It's
contact.
ultimately your responsibility. So unfortunately, sometimes it slips through the cracks here. But this way, you know, every 3 years, you should be getting in contact with us if we don't contact you.
Okay, because I honestly, I really didn't know I had to do all this,
When do we
honestly.
have the
This is all new to
inspection?
me.
So it's all right. Don't worry. Just do what you got. Take care of it now, all right?
It's a mother-daughter home.
Okay.
Okay.
And the great mother still lives here too. She's 95.
God bless.
Yeah.
Right. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 2 weeks. For any other comments that anyone might have, you'll get the decision in the mail and you're going to get your accessory apartment permit.
Okay, so I shouldn't have to do anything?
No, except get that permit. That's what you need to do.
Fill out that form.
That they're gonna send me?
No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
She's got it.
I got it.
Hey, this is all new to me. This is kind of cool. I never did something like this.
Hey, good luck, everybody.
Come on, these things?
No, Mom.
Oh,
Thank
Thank you.
thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye, Charlie.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, God. Okay. Brian? Where'd you go?
Sorry about that. We're bringing in Miss Blanda for number 4 and 5, actually.
Good evening, everybody. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bizzell, Blanda and Visconti, offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay, before I read anything in, I just want to amend the legal notice on this application 21011. The legal notice had it listed as Lindenhurst and it should have been Copeg, so I'll make that amendment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 26, 2021. A survey by Francis Watson dated or last dated January 22nd, 2021. Tax map acting as an area map. And
That's it, Mr. Chairman.
okay, I'm sorry. What would you like to tell us about the application?
So this is a single-story home on Dolphin Lane East over in Copeg. It was recently purchased by Nicole Giannini with her fiance. And before they move in, they're doing some work to the home. And I guess basically the portico in the front has generated a variance as well as some existing setbacks that we're seeking to maintain for side yard and total side yard. If I can screen share, I'll just show the board the survey.
Okay.
It never gets easier. It just never gets easier to do this. All right, let's move this green thing out of my way. There we go. Okay, so here's the survey. So basically the front yard setback, we're seeking a variance. As you can see here where my icon, my arrow is, it's 34.7. That's due to this new portico that they are wishing to add onto the front of the house in front of the existing covered porch. The other setbacks are existing. You'll see there's a 13.2 side yard over here, and then there's a 14.8 over here. And so that generates the side yard variance, seeking to go from 15 to 13.2 and 15 to 14.8 and total from 35 to 28. Ultimately, what they're looking for it to eventually look like is this, which is very beautiful. And then this is the portico that is extending out the 8 feet. That's generating that front yard setback variance. So I mean, that's really it. I read the planning memo. I see that they're asking for the porches not to be further enclosed, and the applicant is fine with that. We have no problem with that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Delavec, yeah, it's your night.
Did you guys start the work on the front portico already?
No, they are doing interior alterations. They have a separate permit for that.
Oh, when I passed by, it looked like it was started already, but all right, I have no further questions.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Good.
Would anyone like to be heard on this? Brian, nobody?
Nope, nobody.
Okay, and I think the side yard variances are being generated because of the shape of the piece of property, basically, kind of like a pie shape, and it's just in the one corners of each, so, you know.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it's an irregularly shaped parcel. Thank you for pointing that out.
Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 2 weeks. Just in case there's any other further comments on this application, you get the decision in the mail.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chairman, Nicole's also representing the applicant for number 5, and I do have a site plan here.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, again, Nicole Blanda, office is at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 26, 2021. A survey by Municipal Land Surveying, dated 1/26/18. A site plan by Stephen Schneider, dated August 28th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map, and
6 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
like to tell us.
So this is an existing industrial site used for warehouse and distribution, mostly of, I believe, furniture and lighting fixtures. The site was brought in to legalize a approximately 4,000 square foot addition that was done to the building. I'm going to screen share the site plan. It did go through departmental review, and that was completed, I believe, January 6th. That's the wrong thing. January 6th of this year. So this is the site plan. Unfortunately, on the screen, it kind of fills up the whole thing, but I'll just kind of walk you through it. So this area over here that has the striping, this is the addition that they had put on, and it brought it in line with the rest of the building, as you can see there. So as part of that, they went through the full departmental review process and added some much needed site improvements. There's landscaping and street trees in the front now, and some improvements to the drainage, lighting for the site, and parking layout. So we're here tonight regarding a parking variance, as well as the front yard setback and having parking in the front. So in the rear, you can see we have 25 spaces, and there's a full service curb cut here where obviously you can have ingress and egress, and this is one way to access the parking in the back. In the front, we have a whole area of land bank spaces. There would be 20 land banked spaces. So right now they would put, green, like a green lawn area with some street trees in the front. And if it was ever necessary to have those parking spaces, I guess planning would review it again, and the owner would be told to actually install those spaces. There's other parking in the front right here, including 3 handicap spaces. So in total, we have 54 spaces. The site's required to have 120. However, because it's a warehouse and distribution center, it in reality, I guess if you this is a conservative approach when you ask for 120 spaces, but in reality, you really don't need that many. A parking study was done. It was prepared by Schneider Engineering back in July. And at that time, he found that this area in the rear was really these parking spaces that were used, and that at peak times, only about 20 spaces were ever full. Otherwise, it was between maybe 15 and 18 spaces at any given time. So in his opinion, and then Nelson and Pope reviewed it as well, they didn't feel that the extra spaces were necessary at this time to be installed. The final variance is for front yard setback. The building is at 60 feet 1 inch, and the code says that this area shall have a 10-foot front yard setback. So therefore, we are required to ask for a variance.
Okay.
That pretty much sums up the application. If the board has any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Okay. So this is strictly warehouse. There's no retail here or anything like that? Or
No,
people coming and
no
going?
retail.
So it's just workers, I'm assuming here, basically?
The employees, yeah. And then deliveries, there's some loading zones, but right, it's really employees that would be
Really
parking.
employees coming and going, okay. Do you know offhand how many employees there are?
Well, at peak times, they have the 20 spaces full. And it seems to be that their peak times are between 9 and 10:30 and then 2:30 to 4:30. But I don't have here exactly how many employees they have.
Okay.
But I mean, if the board really wanted to know, I could find out.
No, I was just curious if you know. I don't think there should be, an issue with any of that. So is this the same company? Is this the same use? Everything's the same? Or is it a different?
The company, I guess you would call it the tenant, but it's still the owner. It's just they use different entity names, but it's Control Brands. That's the name. And they warehouse and distribute furniture, antique clocks, lighting fixtures, things of that nature.
Okay. Okay. I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board?
Good.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application?
No, Mr. Chairman.
For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We'll keep the record open for 2 weeks for any further comments. You'll get the decision in the mail. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Moving on to the remainder of the agenda.
Go.
PMP Motors remains reserved. The bottom of page 5 of the agenda, Jimmy Jack remains reserved. Moving on to the hearing, the applications that were heard at the last hearing, February 25th. Just note that the original agenda that went out omitted the first item from last week, which was 21009 Sokolowski in Lindenhurst. So I've added that in a later edition. So this was recommended, should the board approve it, be with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed, 21009 in Lindenhurst.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 21-009 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The next application is 21-008. This property is located in Deer Park. Planning is recommending a condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 21-008 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second. Favor?
Aye.
The next application is 21-010. This property is located in West Babylon. Planning is recommending a condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Just North Babylon?
Yeah,
West.
well,
Additionally, the carport not being closed either.
Oh, okay.
Is it north or west?
North.
I think we skipped over one.
Oh, did we?
No.
21007.
Oh, you know what? We did. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got it back.
You're right.
Okay.
I
You
went
want
out
me to
of.
move this?
Sorry.
You want to
Moving
move this one?
Yeah, you want to move it while we're here?
Sure, 21-010. I have this as being located in West Babylon. So Brian, is there a carport issue on this one?
No, which job is she doing? She's
I don't
doing.
know if
I'm
it's-
sorry, I skipped to page 8. I'm
Oh,
at the top of page 8.
No, there's not a carport on this one, so.
Okay, so is that me? We skipped?
Which one we doing?
That's
We're
you,
doing West
Sean.
Babylon? Are we doing 21-010?
That's you, Shawnee. Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application number 21-010 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We got it, hopefully.
My apologies. Moving back to page 7 of the agenda, the application is 21-007. This property is located in North Babylon. Planning is recommending a condition that the front porch and the carport not be further enclosed.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 21-007 with the condition that the front porch and the carport not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The bottom of page 7 is 21-006. This application is located in Farmingdale, excuse me. Mrs. Chilton had written a letter after last week's hearing concerned that the board was requesting that she move the shed immediately and was saying that that would be a
Right.
hardship.
Yeah, I think
That-
she misunderstood what we.
That
yeah.
was corrected, so the board does not need to address that correspondence. However, planning does recommend that there be a condition that if the shed is ever moved, that it be located to a conforming location.
Well, we definitely know how to remove and assemble that shed as per our letter.
I'll make a motion to approve application 21-006 with a condition on the face of the CO that if the shed is never comes in disrepair and has to be taken down and be put in a legal location.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving back to page 8 of the agenda, the final page, your correspondence is the letter from Mrs. Chilton, public notice from the Village of Babylon regarding 2 applications that are within 500 feet of the town of Babylon's jurisdiction. We're looking, any comments or questions or
Nope.
issues?
It's up to them.
We're asking the board to accept the minutes of February 4th.
Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 4th, 2021.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
For your consideration for the next meeting, the minutes are provided for you from January 28th, February 25th. Also for your review are the draft findings for Gale Grace Estates in Copeg. And finally, there was an updated planning memo that accompanied revised plans for Gale Grace, application 20-099. So I'll turn that portion over to Kate Shreve for any additional comments.
So your original approval granted 16 one-bedrooms. So you're all in connection, said in connection with 16 one-bedroom units. So now he has submitted revised site plans and plans showing 8 one-bedroom units and then 8 one-bedroom units with a home office / study. So that needs to be recognized by the board. It will not change the parking calculations. You have already previously granted the parking variances for the 16 one-bedroom units. So that, but the revised plans do include the changes in the layout.
Okay.
And no new variances are being triggered or requested.
No new variances are being triggered or requested.
So it looks
Just that
like,
the plans have changed.
yeah, I actually looked at these floor plans a little bit and I just questioned a little bit on, I guess the ones that are gonna have the home office are a little bit bigger than the one-bedroom ones. There was a more open, what it was open living area, an open space that was there originally, and but more of it than more are the single bedroom apartments. Okay, and these have, there's no closets, there's a 5-foot opening into here, so there was no way this should be converted into anything.
Correct. The closets go into the hallways and there are minimum 5-foot openings on all of the openings to the areas.
Okay. All right, that was all I had. I think everybody have a chance. We just got these late today, the floor plans in particularly. So I'd like to just take a week, 2 weeks actually now to digest them and take a look at it and then come back then on our next meeting, which is on March the 18th.
That concludes the board's business. If anyone would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.